we will make a start. That's brilliant, that is. Does that play with your mind or not?
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it is good though. I put this on all that side, my neck suddenly feels better.
Yeah.
Start of acupuncture. Right, we had hiccups the last Zoom. Weren't the only people to have it. Darren Rudge, my mate, he started his links last week for his podcast, and he had exactly the same problem. So I'm going to blame either the Chinese or the Russians. I thought I'd nick this one. Your chances of being killed by a squash plant are low, but never zero. Look how he's hanging on to that. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love it. And that's the best one I found during this week. A tree stump and a human fingerprint. We are nature. Superb. Right, I see this in Lidl, and this is on for another 5 days, I think. $39.99. This is a vacuum with a shredder, and it's a good shredder and all. And with a 10% off, 35, well, say 36 quid. So that's a good buy.
Yeah, but that's a bare unit. You've got to buy a charger and the batteries to go with it as well. They're all on that. That's just a bare unit.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. You look at it. The thing says it's a bare unit. So that'll cost you, I think their battery chargers are only about 15 or 16 quid, but the battery is about another £40.
Small bit. Always read the small print.
Yeah, look. Read the first lot of lineup. Bare unit without battery and charger.
Well, there's one in the paper today that was 70 quid.
Yeah.
I should say it still might be
Brings
cheaper
it back
than that.
up then, doesn't it?
Right, this is what's happening the last couple of days. Well, started 3 days ago with the wind. Fly me cannas over. Somebody just come on. Can you mute yourself, please? Stop the old background interference. These are the pots I originally had from my cannas from Wilco. Heavy metal, which are perfect. But when you come to upend them end of the season or start of the next season to split them, it's a pain in the arse. These are superb in the sense they slide out easy, but there's no weight in them. So, but what I've been doing is just watering them every day, a good soaking. But the height of some of them, it still blows them over, as you can see there. So that's what I'm putting up with wind wires and just wedging them up against each other. So these have had rain all night. This was yesterday. And now I'm even going to soak them more. So that bucket of water went in them 3, just to give them a bit more weight. This is me outside lemon. He's still throwing loads of fruit, which is what I want to see. And the rhododendron, which he budded up. It's got to be over a month now. Is he going to flower again? He ain't supposed to. But this is what our loopy weather's doing. Raspberry all gold. These are new for this year, if you remember. These are down the side of the house. And these are just starting to come to fruition now, which is a bit late. I wanted these early for our show. But it is the first year, and I should be prepared for that for next year. And the autumn treasure, sorry, the raspberry. All I'm doing is picking the dead leaves off and any rubbish on the bottom, just taking them away. Just keeping it nice and clean. Right, this is apple red sleeve. This was first year growing outside, obviously planting out from 25 stock. And this was 2 weeks ago, no, say 10 days ago. He got a bit of blossom on him. Good time to blossom. And now I've got small fruit on him. So I've messaged our fruit man, Jerry, And I said, do I rub these out or let nature take its course or what? So I've never had that before, not this time of year. So I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. The pair, which is a Queen's Beth, done exactly the same thing. Weird. Alstroemeria, these have started growing up again. This is in front of the house and at the back of the house. The winds and the rain we've had splattered a lot, and they've just started to come back again. And in fact, the winds splattered again this morning, so I'm back to square one. And even something else in the house, this little chap here, he started throwing a blossom as well. And that is now turning into fruit. Weird. So I'm still feeding him because he's still growing. He's all right anyway. He's inside the house. And that's me outside peach and me lemon. Right, this was it yesterday on the news? This was on the afternoon. This is obviously Morgan. It must be mate Graham Barrett from down Gloucester. He was on with his heavy pepper and his is that a cucumber? I think it is. Or what a good lad he is. And we've also got somebody else who went down to Morgan yesterday. They were down Sunday, Friday, and Saturday. I went down. Did you, Paul?
Only Saturday, mate.
Just a
So
Saturday,
I've
mate.
been working. Yeah.
Good man.
I had to put stuff in on Thursday, but I didn't go back on the Friday because of working, and been working again today. So
Paul, you just seem a bit quiet to me. Can you speak up just a bit or get a bit closer to the mic, just in
is that
case?
better?
Is
Is
that
that any
okay for
better?
everybody else?
Okay by me.
Might be my microphone. Never heard you then, Rowley.
Yeah, I'll say again. Yeah, Paul's volume is okay for me.
Okay, that's it then. It's my volume. I ain't gonna do nothing now. Okay then, Paul. All yours, mate. Sorry.
Righto. Long chili peppers, as you can see. I've been doing this for 5-6 years now. Got second last year. Got third this year. Graham Barrett, as Mick just mentioned, he was second. Jimmy Checkett, who's another of our collegiate club, he actually won it this year. And I think Harry Adams was there in fourth or something like that. But all of those have well, not Graham Barrett's obviously, but Jimmy's, mine, and Harry's. They've all came from my seed or my plants originally. So must be doing something right to take sort of 3 places out of 6. They didn't seem as long as usual, but I think that might have been down to the weather this year.
Yeah.
And I had the spider mite, so I got knocked back big style with everything, really bad. But next year's another year. So
That's it.
yeah. Okay, mate. I'll put that in because look at that bean there that won it. Now, in the rules, it says that they have got to be in good condition.
Yeah.
And there's actually mold on the bottom of that, look. But they actually give that first place.
No,
Which
it's not in good condition, is it?
Not at all. I was a little bit disappointed with that. But there was other things as well. The rhubarb, in the rules, they stress that it's got to be cut down to 75 mil where the leaves start to come out.
Yeah, it's 3 inches.
And some of them was over 100 mil, the ones that were in the prizes. So, and it makes a difference because I cut mine down bang on 75 mil last year or the year before. And then what I cut off, which was probably another 2 centimeters, I weighed that after, and it weighed something ridiculous, like 60 grams. So all them little bits are all adding to the weight. And if they're going to state that you've got to be 75 mil, then they should stick to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my moan. Yeah, it's the only reason I put that photo in.
Good man.
The chilies again. There were some lovely chilies, but they're all supposed to be over 75, and everybody was questioning them. You know what I mean? Because they've just give it to ones that were possibly bang on 75 mil. The only thing I can say is maybe there was a bit of uniformity there, but other than that, I couldn't really see the reason for it. But anyway, good luck to them. They all
What
took
was the class for?
six chili peppers over 75 mil.
Well, that's
long
what the
ones you can
judges got
see
to
there.
go by.
Sorry.
That's what the judges got to go by.
Yeah. But anyhow, that's what won it. The only I can't see. There's only first, second, and third there, isn't there? I don't know why I didn't take pictures of the others. Oh, sorry, it is only first, second, and third.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. I'm thinking of the giant ridge again. Yeah, but as you can see, the two first and third were just normal red peppers, and then the yellow ones there, they took second by the look of it. Okay, Mick. That was my wife's entry. But we thought they were going to be pretty unique. How wrong you can be. There must have been 10 plates of them in. So I think the ones that won it were Bishop's Hat, but I struggled to see the difference between any of them. You know what I mean? But obviously, that's the judge, innit? They've got to judge something. They've got to pick it somehow. But they didn't come anywhere, those. Okay, me. That was my little plum tomatoes.
Excellent.
They didn't come anywhere. And I think the next picture will show you that they just went for, oh no, sorry, that's my, I got third with that, my chili pepper plant. That was under 75. So you had to keep the fruits under 75 millimeter. I normally put the long one in, but because of the spider mite and that, the plant was not fit to go there as far as I was concerned.
Nice.
Okay, that was Joe's entry. Streptococcus. She got second with that. Yeah, it was all right. Could have done with a few more flowers. That was me fuchsia heads. This is something I do every single year. I enter this class, both singles and doubles. And I don't think there's been a year where I haven't come in the, I normally take first, but which I did again this time. But it's all about, you've got to get that water in that tray underneath. The amount of people that don't fill the water up enough, and they just die off. Joe's just said they were still good today.
Yeah.
So that's how they've looked the whole weekend. So I really chuffed with that. Really pleased with them. Okay.
Well, I think because you stage Thursday, so it's 3 days, isn't it? To the public.
Yeah. And the differences in temp, because there was it was all dripping off the tent in there as well this time. As it normally does, you know what I mean, all over stuff. So yeah, I'm pleased with that.
Excellent.
Jimmy Checkett's cauliflowers in the is that the national veg, innit?
He does a good collie.
Yeah, he finished fourth. I don't think I took any of the ones that got it, but they're about as big as a dustbin lid. They're absolutely massive. Which sometimes they tend to do that. They tend to go for the big stuff rather than more quality. But no, he done well. Well, Jim done very well there, actually. You'll see there's quite a few pictures of Jim's stuff. That was Jimmy again. He took first prize in them.
Excellent.
They were definitely the best on the table, so he deserved it.
Them are corkers.
Nice and round, didn't they then?
Dried off superb as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay. That was just one I took for you of the lily stand. All the different lilies. That was a good display.
Was
Enjoyed looking
nice.
at that. Jason Smith, got a second with him. The old Onker. It's the one that I used to do, but then we lost the tubers. So I think I might. I had a couple of flowers off it this year. Managed to get some good out the tuber again, and he didn't produce many flowers though because it's a very small tuber.
Oh,
But next year.
I'd say you should be all right for next year.
Yeah. It'll put some weight on by then, I hope. Okay, mate.
You weren't supposed to have had any dahlias this year.
Ah, well, here we go. Jason again. Yeah. This is Jason as well. Yeah, I took these for you, so you could see what was there like. I didn't take picture Jason again. I didn't take a picture of all his flowers because he'd got more than I actually took pictures of.
Yeah.
But I tried to pick out maybe the best ones that he'd showed there. But he done well. Got a few firsts there. Jason again. We grew that this year, but by the time it come to Colligate show, they were terrible.
Yeah.
They were there the week before, and then Colligate show, all the petals were dropping out of them and everything. But we'd had that every show, hadn't we?
Yeah.
So
It's timing everything in it. It's potluck.
Yeah. I mean, unless you got a load.
Yeah.
And I haven't now. Where I used to have a hell of a lot, I haven't now. So that's maybe one tuber, you know what I mean? But the tuber's getting quite big now, and next year hopefully I'll have plenty, and the stopping of them, of course, you know what I mean. So I neglected a lot of stuff this year. Is that Jason? Whether it is or not, can you zoom in on the?
Yeah, Jay Smith.
Yeah, Jason again. Then yeah.
It's a good job he got his mate to enter in our show. Otherwise, I'd told him off. Putting this lot in, and not a lot in ours.
To be honest, I don't know where he's had them from because Uncle Ken's, them only just starting to come on there. So I don't know. Maybe he's growing them somewhere else. No, I don't know
He's growing at his mother's.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Jason or not, but I just love the look of that. You know what I mean? I don't think it is Tim, is it?
It's a nice one.
Yeah, a beauty that was. And that was again, it's not Jason. That's another display that was on there. That was a corker.
No, say there.
Yeah, the old Western pirate or something, I think. I'm not sure who that is. Whether that was Jason or not.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Jason again then, yeah. I say he got some nice flowers there. And a good variety. Yeah, that one. I've done these for you, the Gladdies. So you could have a look at them.
Good man.
There ain't many flowers open on that one, is there?
No. Couldn't have been many in.
There wasn't. There weren't many at all. In fact, there's a lot of areas that were very sparse.
Yeah.
Apples, pears, plums, tomatoes, all the general stuff was packed out, you know what I mean? But then cauliflowers, very few carrots. But I've heard a lot of people say that they haven't had no carrots this year. Leeks were down. There's quite a few onions. Yeah, just 2 entries in the pot leek, I think. That was the one that took a first place. And what would that be? Three assorted blooms with it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My best three gladdies this year was 1 week before the show. Me and Dad gone over. That was perfect. Three
I heard
acre,
a lot.
superb.
I heard a lot of people saying the same sort of thing
Yeah,
at Malvern. You know, as you're going round, you can hear them talking, and they were all saying the same thing.
but that's it. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah. Now
Them are nice.
that one had some prize, didn't it? Some cup was it or something?
Trevor
Best
Fawcett.
exhibit. Yeah, best
Trevor
exhibit
Fawcett.
that.
Oh,
And yeah. And like you say, the flowers are out more on them, and they so
yeah, nice.
you can learn a lot from going around there and looking at
Yeah,
stuff. You know what I mean? As you always said. Um, that was a picture of the society.
let's see a standout.
Yeah,
British Gladiator Society.
yeah. They got all that bump down the front. I didn't read any of it, but you probably know what it is, what it says.
Yeah, good display in it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good displays there though, and
Yeah,
they put on. Yeah,
and this is good for the public because they ain't got to reach over or that they can see it because I'm stood
yeah,
there and they can read it and learn.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. There's quite a lot of information. I don't know why they've come up again, unless I duplicated the photo.
Oh, this one's got your name on it.
That's Joe's. Yeah, yeah. That's me and Joe for some reason. Oh, that was that. That was standing on the hill, looking into the showground.
You've got the weather then and all. That the
It was
Thursday,
lovely. No, that was Saturday.
Saturday. Oh,
Yeah, it was lovely.
good,
Really was good.
lovely. Thanks for that, Paul.
All right, Mick.
Good man. Jeffrey, are you all ready, sir?
I'm ready.
Good man. All yours.
This is just to show what I've done this year. Mick asked me to tell a bit about what I've been doing this year. So I've been growing the cormlets on. From last year, I had 200 cormlets from Ukraine, from Olga. So I've grown them on for second year now, and I wasn't supposed to have any flowers. I was supposed to cut off all the flowers so they can grow a bigger bulb, but I couldn't resist. So every one I got, I let flower, just one spike, and there are about 4 or 5 of each kind in a pot. So, but with number you can tell the names on the list I've got. So this is one of the better ones I thought for color. Obviously the flowers have gone over, but every single one of the 200, I took a picture like this with a number on it. Yeah.
Was you happy with them, Jeffrey?
Yeah, but normally they should be ready next year.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are like this, perfect size, flowers, everything. Then I've got a few, let's say half of them are too small to flower.
Yeah.
And then I've got the ones that are right behind, and I don't know why, but they're still the size of a pea.
Oh.
So they were the size of a pea the first year when I planted them. Then last year I took off the old cormlet.
Yeah.
And the new cormlet was the size of a pea. I put them back in, and the leaves are only about a pencil thick, and they don't grow anymore. I don't know why. They've not got thrips. I sprayed 2 times for thrip on them. No thrip damage. Watered everything, but wouldn't just grow. These winter carrots, I put them in the tubs. They're 30-liter tubs, and I move them inside in end of October. They're just the ordinary Autumn King and mixed with Yellowstone. I always grow them for the winter, and I put them inside the polytunnel, don't water them, and when I need fresh carrots, I just pick a few because there are too many in a pot.
Yeah.
So I can pick all winter. The ones that are good size, I pick, cover them up a bit more, and leave them. I can have carrots the whole winter long fresh.
Good man.
These are the leeks. These are what I've been trying to do, but I made a mistake with these. These are the Russian Russian white, Russian long white. I got seeds from Russia itself, from somebody who lives here in Austin, and he asked his mum to send the seeds for me. And he said they were tall and long. So I grew them, but the mistake I made was as soon as I put them in, I started coloring them. And I didn't know the size that the white branch had to be for like a long leek. So I just kept coloring them, and every week I said they're above the color again. The veil was above the color again. So I said, well, put a bit more color on, moved it up. And then it kind of dawned with me. I said, right, you need to ask how much the color needs to be. And by the time I stopped coloring them, it was too far gone. So they were too long. The white chunk was too long to be any good, but they kept growing and growing and growing. And they're a lovely leek to eat. And I've set them back for seed now today.
Yeah.
And I've left one just growing.
Paul, you got
Yep.
a question, mate?
Yeah, all it is, they've got a competition for a long leek at Malvern now, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
How long were they? Did you measure them?
Yeah, there are pictures on here normally about, I think the longest one was 37. 37 inches to the veil.
Okay.
So that's long, but I've heard it. I saw that one last year, that one, the longest leek.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try these next year, but get them a reasonable thickness so they can stand up on it on their own. I don't want the piddling little one that won last year. So I could try them at home, but I'm going to get a guttering, put the guttering into the ground at an angle so it can rest in there, plant it in full soil in the ground, and let it crawl around right the way up the guttering.
Yeah.
And then, when I need to blanch it, just take another guttering and cut it into pieces and layer them on top so they can blanch.
Yeah, I know Peter Glazebrook was growing it inside drain pipe. You know, like the maybe the 40 mil pipe, you know what I mean? 50 mil, something like that. And he just kept adding to it. I'll find out what the length was. I don't know at the moment, but he got one there again, which was long, and it might have been 4 foot long or something like that. I don't know, but I'm only guessing. Yeah, interesting, mate.
Yeah, but they're a good leek. So I put them back today for seed, but it's amazing what a small root they have. The pot wasn't filled or anything, and the other leeks, pot leeks and branch leeks, the other ones were full. Yeah, Mick. Yeah, that was something I tried. I sowed a lot of foxgloves and a lot of wallflowers, but I sowed them too early. So the wallflowers, I cut them back, and the foxglove. So these are pots with tulips in from last year. And I said, I'm going to leave them and not taking them out. I'm just going to add a foxglove to each one and a wallflower to each one. But that's about a month ago. So that's iris, the Dutch iris that are poking through. They're very early, but they keep poking through, but they're growing good now. Well, that's a branch leek. So that's what to the veil about 10 inches. Yeah, Mick?
9.5.
Of 9.5. Oh yeah, I was looking at the one above. Yeah, 9.5.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it has to be correct. To be entered in the class.
What for a long blanch?
Yeah.
14-inch minimum.
14. And so how much can you go?
So he's got to have another 2 months to grow. So you get him up here.
Yeah. And
Got to be over 14.
What's the maximum it can be?
Maximum anything.
Oh, okay.
Thicker, longer, the better.
Okay. But the mistake I made with all my leeks this year was as soon as I potted them into the 30-liter bucket, I started coloring them to get them blanched. So I need to let them grow and then
Yeah.
blanch them. But I didn't know. I just said, oh, go for it.
Yeah, they got to get a bit of meat on them.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
the intermediate is 10 to 14 inch.
Intermediate.
So if you had 3 like him, you could use them as an intermediate. Because you take that skin off, and the next veil is up there. So
Yeah.
work that way.
No, good.
But you got a trial and error, Jeffrey. I shall do it.
Yeah. You see, that's one of the long Russians. So that's 26, 27 inches.
Nice in the stew.
That's just to show what I've got a problem about. Raspberries. They'd be good for your show because they were ready the day of your show. They're very tasty as well, but they grow massive. They're 4 meters and something long now. So I said that may be a good one for Mick. And it's called Loch Ness.
Uh,
They're very good to eat too. Very sweet, not sour or anything. Good fruit size. So I said, okay, but that's just to show how tall they grow. They're growing over. Normally I have them where the white hoops are, but I can't bend them that far. The stems are too thick. So I'll have to build a kind of gazebo effective thing to
yeah.
get my raspberries next year. But if you'd like cutting, just let me know. I'll send them. That was what I thought was an intermediate. But I don't know how it came because that was in the blanched leek seeds. So that's one with a difference. This one's in the pot now. It was tasty.
So he's a rogue, isn't he?
Yeah. That's how far I got with my yeah, that's the best one I've got. For blanched, pot leek. And the problem I had with that was I can't get I put the top. How do I explain? Now today I got fresh horse manure and I filled all the empty buckets I have with it. Then I put topsoil on top of it, 5 centimeters. And then I let it rest for the whole winter to rot down. And that forms the base of my pot. Then when I plant the seedling, then I add another load of compost so it's level with the top of the pot. So I thought it wouldn't sink anymore, but it still sank about 5 inches. So I said, how do I fix this? Like if you plant anything in a raised bed, you can top up the soil around it, but with leeks, you can't. Leeks and onions, you can't. So I said, okay, how do I fix it? So I rang Mick yesterday. I said, how would you fix it? Because I can't add it. So Mick said, turn him over, keep him out, put earth or compost or anything on the bottom and put them back. So I tried it today. I've got pictures on here on my phone and I'll send them into the group after this session is done so you can all have a look. But this is the best I've done, 7-inch around. But one is still growing. And I'm going to grow it till the 1st of December because I'm kind of 4 months behind you because I don't start from grass. But I put 3 of them back for grass, 3 blanched leeks for grass, 2 pot leeks, 2 long Russians. And then I put 1 long Russian together with a blanched leek. And then the same again in the other pot, so I can make a cage for them, so no insects can touch them. When they flower, I want to really take out the stamens from the parent plant, and add the pollen by hand to the other one, so I can kind of have a cross. So I'm going to try and cross the Russian with the branch leak and see what happens. If it works, okay. If it doesn't, oh well, we tried.
You got to try, Jeffrey.
That was a rogue pumpkin I didn't know I had, and it weighed 38 kilos. But I really didn't know I had it. I plant my potatoes, alstroemeria, and then in front I always plant butternut squash. And the squash normally I can layer them just between the rows of potatoes. But I put a frame of beans, cobra, in front of them, and didn't realize there was a pumpkin there. So that was kind of a surprise when I took away the frame for the beans. Not 38 kilos. These are my leeks. The ones I sowed myself from seeds. I saved myself. So they're going good. No rust or anything on them. Quince tree. The first time I've had more than 2 on them, but it's only 5 years old. So I need to know if I train him, if I cut him or anything. So I'm going to send a picture to Jerry and see what he says, because I don't know if you cut it, prune it, or if you don't, or how, or where, or when, or I'll have to ask him.
He's a good lad, he'll sort it out.
This is the second flowering of delphiniums. So I cut back the delphiniums, like you said, Mick, and they do indeed flower again.
Yeah.
And I saved seeds from them, from the purple ones. I'm just looking for the plum colored one now, but it's hard to find. But I've got a few dahlia seeds, so delphinium seeds, so I'll have a go next year. I'm going to sow some now and see what happens. Yeah, Mick. This is how I get my seeds for eating leeks. This is the leeks I had last year, the best of them, which had the longest chunks of white. I take them, just plonk them back. I don't cut off any leaves or anything. Just stick them into a side border, put a cane next to them, and let them grow. And then I put these kind of Hessian sacks over them and let them all dry out. So they're drying out in my kitchen now, and the seeds are starting to fall out. So I'm going to wait another 2 weeks till they're brown, totally brown, and then rub them out, the seeds, and then they're seeds for next year. And I've got 7 people that grow the leeks from my seeds now. So I sow 10 into a pot in December and let them grow. And then people come and get them around May, June time, drop them in their gardens, let them grow on, and then plant them out as winter leeks. And they're all very glad with them. So they're better than the ones we get. Like in the gardening group, there are 400 and something gardens, allotments, and everybody can order in group, like strawberry plants, chicory roots to get chicories. And then you can order leeks. You can order anything you want, any plants like cauliflowers, red cabbage, everything. We buy in bulk, and you can get them. But for the leeks, everybody wants the leeks that I've gotten in sow now, because they can plant them earlier than the ones you can get in the shops. So they grow better.
Good.
And this is on the right side, there were the pot leeks, and on the left side were the long leeks, long Russians. And tomatoes were crap this year. I had a rat, I still have the rat, in the tunnel, and every single tomato that turned red, when you came in the next day, it just had skin hanging off. That's unbelievable. I still can't catch. I've had about 14, 15 rats in the whole garden, and you can just hear them when you stand still. You can hear something move, and when you look, you can, and it's like a plague. Every garden has it. It's unbelievable this year. That's why I hope it's a very hard winter and it kills a lot of them. And that's the blanch leeks. And yeah, branch leeks, and no, pot leeks. That's right. That's where I took everything off to color them. That is just to show I don't know if you can see in front on the left, just next to the top. Yeah, that's where I grew, where I sowed all the wallflowers. That's a whole tub of wallflowers. No, just a bit down, Mick. Yeah, that's wallflowers. So I've got enough for me and I think half of the allotment. But I need one to put in every pot of tulips, so that's 50 pots. So I need 50 wallflowers to put them in. But it became too long, said right, cut them back a bit with garden shears, and they're bunching up now, so they can go into the pots. And just behind, you'll see right at the back is comfrey, and just before the paler ones, they're all foxgloves, all to go out into the garden, all to be planted. I'm going to plant them in between each pot of tulips, going to stick one in the ground, so I have a nice display of foxgloves this year and next year. That's Crocosmia, mix from Farmer Gracie, and it's a red one, well, supposed to be a red one, dark red, and a yellow one, and they were really lovely. But a friend of mine has got a darker one, darker red than that, so I'm going to get them from him as well and take all that lot out, mix them all together, so I get the darker red, the lighter red, and then the yellow, and then it's like fireworks. It's really stonking. Really,
Yeah.
really good ones.
I've got the red and Lucifer,
Yeah, but this
Buster.
I've got that's Lucifer and yellow. I don't know, but they came in a mixed packet
Yeah.
from Farmer Gracie. And then, but the other one, the one my friends got, he's really, really, really rich, dark, like velvety. I said, right, I need them to add to that. And they're in a kettle drum, like a witch's cauldron, the one I said that doesn't blow over. That's very good. That's it.
Jeffrey, excellent, sir.
No problem.
Good man. Remember, when you bury a body, cover it with endangered plants so it's illegal to dig it up. Follow me for more tips. Right, I was going to have Nick on tonight, and you rung me 2 days ago. Said, sorry, Mick, I've got the grandkids coming round. I've had to cancel. So I'll be on next week. And then yesterday, he got in touch again. He says, Mick, I can't do next week either. Your daughter's getting married. I love him. He's as bad as me. These was some new ones I did this year. I like the colour, but they're no good for exhibition. Too far apart and whatever. But at least I get them a go. And if you can see, there's a red throat in them as well, which was nice. But the wind splattered these. I had to get them up early. As you can see, they're not fully open. That was a nice little chap. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and a half old. These are what I call ruffled, and they got a pink tinge to them as well on the outside. It just about make it corkers then. And I only had them only one, as you can see. Joined Cape Gooseberry in the tunnel. I had about 6 of these ripe like here for the show, but most of them were still green. As long as you got a couple on show for the fruit collection, then it don't matter. Canna, that's pure yellow. He's just coming back into flower again, but he's a corker. He is. It's the only one I've got that's pure yellow, and it's Todd. Plastic across open, meaning it's open pollinated. This is a Sylvan, they're made from Canada. He uses cross pollination in fields. There's nothing from miles around. And you just cross pollinate his own, meaning you get new strains. But I'm good. And that one, you just about make him out. He was supposed to have been a lucifer, as you can see there. But he's a nice one. He's similar to the another one I got, which is called firework, which that would be more to me as a firework than lucifer, because the seeds I had for this lucifer were off the internet, meaning you buy anything off the internet, seeds, and you get bloody anything, because you don't know what the seeds are. And I've learned my lesson there. Because looking this up, that's what he is supposed to look like, lucifer, and it doesn't. It looks like firework. So basically, don't get your seeds off the internet. Get your seeds like I do from a mate in Canada, where I get a good dollop. Plums, I entered these in the show. Obviously, buddy ate them as well. But this last lot, I thought I'd do a jar of jam with them. Plus, my blueberries did well with him this year. And figs, I was chuffed with them. First year for the figs. But I'm going to pick some blueberries and all. So I've got a good dollop in there. When the gladdies are finished off, I'm taking the canes out so I can dry them out. I've started taking all the canes out and the other 3 bags as well. Right, blueberries. I'm doing a jam, and I'm doing wine this year because I've got a forge on them. Which I ain't done blueberry jam or blueberry wine. So for me, this is a good. Obviously, got to take all the stalks off. But for the jam, I found this out 10 years ago. One of the top jam growers in Warleith, I think it was. And it says when you make jam, just do about a pound fruit to a pound of sugar. Same weight as weigh the fruit first, and whatever that weighs, exact same weight as in sugar. Yeah, your jam would be better just doing this in small amounts, not one big dollop. So that's what I'm doing. So it's fruit in the pan. You bring it to the boil, and also the sugar, you have to get it warm. So microwave is the best thing to do it. Also with jars, you've got to keep them nice and warm, because with wood boil, not jamming, got a chance of cracking if it's a cold jar. So these are in started off in near enough boiling water. By the time I'd made the jam, it cooled down to warm water, so it was perfect. You've got to help these out, meaning squash them up. Stir continuously. The jam, stir that halfway through as well, otherwise it can gel in the middle, so you mix it out. As soon as you got that to the boil, put the sugar in, then bring it back to the boil as well. When that comes to the boil and you have mixed it, you then stir rapidly for 3 minutes. This is off this old dear who used to win with the jams. And the easiest method I've found now, just put it into a jug and then you pour it easier into jars. Some have got wide nicks, some have got small nicks. If you're pouring out of a saucepan, you pour over the bloody jar. But these are perfect. First time I've done the blueberry. There ain't many places do blueberry jam. I know Little do it, but I've never seen a Tesco or anything like that flog them. And the missus loves it and all. So luckily I used that old blueberry jar from Middle. So I've got my blueberries on the lid. Perfect. Get my labels out. And I've got some little tops to go on them. Obviously underneath the cap. It's just a bit of bullshit for the judge. Impress the judge. And you seal them straight away and leave them overnight to cool down. Got my stickers on them ready for next morning. Plum jam. Never done plum jam before. First year I've had plums, obviously. First year I've had my plum tree in. But weigh the fruit exactly the same amount of sugar. And help that out as well, squash them up. And do exactly the same again. Warm sugar, stir rapidly for 3 minutes. perfect. That's a new one. Getting the canna out when we want them. Jeffrey, sorry mate, I want you to sit your hand.
No problem. It's just for your jams. Get these, especially for jam.
Get
The
what?
metal. This you can get like Asda or anything. This goes into the jar like a funnel. And you pour it in. You put this. This is your jar. Put this on top. Pop it in. You never hit the side of your jars.
No, you do it the side, not with the washes. With him.
Wow.
If I get any around there,
Yeah.
I'll just take it off with my finger inside.
Yeah, but sometimes then it's not sterile and they spoil. If the seal isn't good or the seal is tampered with.
Oh, I'll have a nose. We'll see, I've seen any. I mean, I've got a funnel, but not a big funnel like that. I don't too much sticking to the funnel. Yeah. I see what you mean. Oh, okay, Jeffrey Tar. So I'm still using the carrots because the hound likes them as well. I love them. Actually, there's a chap I got up there. Another one. So all my bits obviously going in the compost. I take all the cores out, the carrots, the middle bits, because they go in the compost as well. All I want is the outsides. That's one of my cannas that's staying outside this year. And I've since found out another 3 people in the UK leave their cannas out. And they got away with it. Except 2 lost them last Christmas because, well, the frost we had, -8, that was a one-off. And they should have realised and put more top dressing on, more of a mulch. But I've got the fence as well to look after them. Fireworker crossed with zebra. Now he's coming out red with yellow specks, so he's a one-off as well. There's a highness, having a good kip. Blueberry wine, this is for 1 gallon, 1.4 kilo blueberries. Okay, sugar, water, mixed droppings. Right, if you had to buy the blueberries, this would cost you over 10 quid. That's why you grow your own fruit. And I've got odds on them. So I've done my jam, so now I'm going to start doing my wine. Wine them out, see how much I got. I need my bin, demerara sugar. I use the demerara sugar instead of white with all my wines. That gives it an extra kick. We've got a nice big pond for bringing it to the boil. And the all bits and pieces. That was off you, Jeffrey, one of yours. In fact, this is the same net you've got over your leek heads. I noticed when you put your photo up, but I didn't want to interrupt and tell you. But it is perfect for these. Bung my water in and my sugar. Obviously, you've got to dissolve that. And then let it cool. Now, this, there ain't many wines where I do this, but it does work, was at the end, which you'll see later on anyway. So you bung your fruit in this little sack, net, whatever you want to call it. And then you got to help it out, same as the jams. You just breaking it up. And that's inside the net itself. Then bung your water in, and after that, your bits and pieces. Well, when it tells you, and just stir it in. That's bunged away for 12 hours. So next day, my jams have cooled. I'm gonna putting these on. It looks a bit bland, square label. So I'll just cut them. First thing I do is turn them over, make sure they don't run nice and solid, because that's what the judge is going to do and all. So I've just cut I've made them rough instead of a square. Looks a bit better for me. So them three away in the garage, ready for the show next year. There's my mate taking the pee out of me with his jams. Like what I nicked it. I think it's 12 hours after, you then crush a Camden tablet for your wine. So that spoon goes on the top of that one and crushes the tablet. Now you can put it in powder form. Stir that in and you bung that away. You stir daily for a week. Compost, what I've done here, cut all the crap away from there and down that pathway and down the side where my bird feeder is. So I've got quite a bit of kitchen stuff as well. I've just chopped that up in my bucket. Now I'm adding all my extras. There's my carbon, loo rolls, paperback books, shredded. Everything's in small pieces. Seaweed is another one. I got a jug. Got a double handful of everything goes in. Porridge. I should have bought another bag this morning. Didn't run out. Worms love it. And this is my oyster shells. Alfalfa pellets. Pelleted chicken pellets. Mix everything up before it goes in. Carpets off, because these carpets are moist. Ideal breeding ground between the two carpets. There's your extra worms. That's a bit blurred, but there are worms working away there. I've just added half of what I've just put in, because I don't want to get the carpets out yet. Obviously it needs watering, some drying. I'll then put that carpet back over there and do the other side. Once I do take all the carpets off, which might be the next one, then I'll empty the extra worms onto the top of there, the surface. These carpets are drying out a bit, keep them moist. And the worms look after you. Right, this was my seaweed. This time, this was from Ilford Crew. That's my old seaweed, chopped up, ready to be used. So this lot I've dried out, spread out, nice and dry. So I'm chopping up with edge shears, extending garden edge shears, nice and sharp. So I'm putting them in there, chopping them up, and then throwing that back until I've gone through the lot, which I have done there. Also, that's ready now to take down to the garage to go through the shredder. Also, I've got these 2 bags of muck. I'm going hard on the top, and that's hard. I open that up, put it on there, and I've been doing that every other day. So that's building up as well. That can also go in the shredder. There's another lot that's drying. I'll put that in as well. So that bag's going down as well. So I've got them 2 go through the shredder. Now in the garage, the biggest bag I've got, this is a perlite, vermiculite, sorry, 100 litre. So that bag will go under there. And I'll put an elastic band around it just to stop any dust, anything coming out. When it catches everything, it's perfect. You'll have a good size. Normal compost bag ain't big enough. You don't go around there. That's perfect. So the first one was me Russian. Put her on the front, you can see me there, and they can watch what's going on. I don't trust her yet sat in the back. Or loose up here. Try to get her in there. So he's watching me. So I'm putting my dried muck in. That comes out still a small enough, so I'll put it through again. Then I do my seaweed. Don't forget this lot's dry, so it's going to break up perfect. Putting that lot in now, so I'll put it through again. The smaller, the better. Perfect. While I'm down there, Rowley give me some biochar mix with his stallion juice. This is superb stuff. Lucian loves it and all. He's also given me a tub of field gathered sheep. You know, look at that beautiful stuff. You can eat that now. These two rubbed out by hand. It's even a better brew. That one is my oyster shells. It's what I use in my Lay's chicken pellets and my alfalfa pellets. My compost. They go through my grinder. So them lot I bought back up to the greenhouse. The original bag of seaweed is now mixed with that one I've just mixed because they're two different seaweeds from two different sites. So I'll mix them two together, obviously in the biggest bag I've got. Give them a good mix. Upend it 8 or 9 times. And they're brilliant. Two dried muck, that's the one I've just shredded. There's another one I've already had. That was goat manure, dried goat manure. So I'm now mixing them two together as well. Meaning they give me another good brew. And these two are also going to get mixed up. Look at that. Beautiful. So now that's another 2 bags, different ingredients. And then 2, that's spent coffee grounds, that's dried tea. So I might as well mix them 2 as well. Giving you more room on the shelf for more bits. Right, this year in the nurseries, garden nurseries, I've noticed first time ever they started selling the canna plants and the rhizomes to the public. You got to be careful. I saw these 2 from Taylor's. This was early on in the season, and I had these because I've got a credit note with them, how to use them up. But you got to look at the small print, which is that turned over is that. So let's Netherlands, Holland. Anything from Holland that's got the virus in them. Careful. That's why you've got to look into who's doing your stock. And that one there was one of them. So I'm keeping my eye on him and sending a photo to Sylvan. Because all the plants I've had, I think I've got rid of about 6 different ones that have had a virus this year. I'm learning. And I'll just send Sylvain. They have the same trouble over in Canada. Their suppliers, nurseries, the same as us, and flogging virus seed and plants, and people are getting paid off with it. That's one of my prims, Gladys. He come a bit late from the show, but I'll know I've got him for next year. Straws and my blackberries, either side, and my Cape Gooseberry. Cape Gooseberry went bloody spare this year. But you've got to watch it, he doesn't overshadow these, or he's taking the light off and whatever. If Pet goes out, Russian's waiting for her to come back. Chuffed with a fig this year. Didn't get a brown and on. I'm going to try the first one tomorrow. This is brown turkey. I've heard since you can take them off and eat them green. Yes, Paul, mate.
We was looking at them plants at Malvern, and the cheapest one, which was nowhere near as big as yours, he was looking at about 25 quid.
Bloody Nora.
And one like you've got there was about 50 quid.
Gordon Benny.
Yeah, and that was what you said. It's turkey summers rather than.
Because I looked into this early last year. Now, when I bought him, it was the one best grown for the UK for our climate. you know, he's hard. I can leave him outside all over winter. He's going to look after himself. And so it's the first year. So for the first year, I had him in the greenhouse growing in there. Because obviously he was only a baby. But that's what he's done in a year. Got to that
Yeah.
size. If I had him, I'll try and get the old photo.
Ours is about 7 foot tall now and about 6 foot across.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the trouble is we didn't get that many figs off it this year. There's 1,000,001 on now, but they're only about an inch
Yeah.
big, like, you know what I mean?
Oh.
But I think Joe said she listened to Monty and said he said pick them all off or something, which she did, and they seem to be coming now. But obviously, the weather's going the wrong way now, isn't it? So
Yeah. We're supposed to get an Indian summer anyway, beginning of October.
oh right, well, there's a chance then maybe.
I believe that when it happens.
Me too.
Yeah. But I've been chuffed with the fig this year. Hopefully on in brown for next year. But I have learnt this afternoon you can eat these green. Just put a bit of onion or something. So I'm going to try one of them tomorrow. But like most things, every leaf axle, you get a fruit. So we've had a good few on. Actually, see, I've had good supports in because of the bloody weight on them. But I have been feeding him because I googled that and I didn't realise you could get feed just for figs. But it's obvious, isn't it? They know they like to eat. So just bottle it and people will buy it like me, and it's worked. This is off my mate, John Murphy. He'll be on next week with his few photos. He couldn't make tonight either, but this one of his bottles he get us when he comes to the show. Boston. England Scotland game last week. It's been good for sport. If you like your rugby and football last week or so. Brilliant. Back to me wine, got pectic enzyme, bung that in, give it a good stir. Obviously pull me net out. Cannas, back to them little chaps. Stir me wine again. Right, it's now in the air, not the airing cupboard, it's in our little it's in our bedroom where I used to have me wine. You'll see me wine from there. But that got to be stirred daily. Miss Swamp Lily. What a memory. I remember the name of the chap. This was off Hartley next door a couple of years ago. But this is the second time it flowered again. There's quite a few things. I'm coming into second flowering. Weird. Is that our loopy weather? Don't know. But I've took quite a few of them off. And it's usually the way once you've taken them off. I read something else yesterday, day before. If you get them this size, leave them on ready for next year, and they will overwinter, and they will give you brown figs for next year. Too bloody late, I've picked them all off. Well, I did not see that before. Trial and error. Any old leaves off anything, they come off. Also, that one at the back, when I got my blackberry, he is eventually going to go around there. So I'm going to lift him up and help him. So I've just tied him, not too tight, I'm just holding him up and just trying to persuade him to grow that round there. The grapes they still want to go, so any new shoots, anything, just take them off. Glad he's nearly done. Shows them over anyway. Any look naff, they are naff. Bin them. Take them out. Bin them, that'll be no good. And the cane supports, I'm going to put support for all the fruit. I'll get first year for all the fruit this year. Which off I'm giving me nothing from training. Obviously my fruit this year. Want a bit of space between them all, so I've got air movement. Right, back into the greenhouse. If you remember my 3 cannas from seed, I tried there. These was in me should be cherry tub. Just in front of me raised bed, I forgot all about them. These 2 come through first, spare seeds either. Not even looking after them, nothing, they come through. Then that's the last one that comes through. So I ain't got a clue what they're going to look like. That one is the Cleopatra. But these lot, Cleopatra, look at it, love it. You know, that's been painted straight line. Weird. That's a better close up of the 2 amulet. They were curved, yeah. I ain't gonna put him on yet. We're be getting close to be doing that next week. Yeah. Back in the tunnel again. Persuading me fruit trees where to go. Plus taking everything out that I don't need. And that one there, black coloured benzoic. He's got new shoots coming on already. He wants to get good ready for next year. Get a frost on you, boy, it'll slow you down. As you can see back on that one, this was from roots. I had quite a bit of stuff from them. In fact, I did a talk a couple of months back and I went past their place. You could have realised I'd have gone earlier and nipped in. They dish out decent stuff as well. Right, I'm just getting canes up ready and supporting the new shoots, telling them where to go. But I should have done a close up of that. Put the colour off the cannas. Beautiful. Right, the peas I've took up there. First time I've grown them in i.e. this method, but I should be doing the same next year. But I should be spraying more for the mildew with the dithane. If you ain't got no dithane, just use bicarb of soda in water. And that helps to keep the mildew away as well. There we are. I think I got that one offline. It's cheaper to the ordinary places. Well, Wilco's gone now, so you can't get that anymore off them. Right, these lot. There's one flower of theirs you see I've snapped off. I'm going to snap him off. What I'm going to do probably another month or something, I'm going to leave one stem of seed on to dry off properly on every plant, because there's some candies nothing will grow from seed off the plant itself. I think Tropicana is one of them. Cleopatra, sorry, and Tropicana probably. So I'm going to try them anyway, just in case. But it's just another trial. But at the moment, that's them 2 took off, and now I'll get more shoots off these other one. There's another flower there. So all the nourishment will go into the flowers, not the seeds. Some new ones I saw, creamy stripes. Look at that. Look at the leaf on that. That's beautiful. I love the leaf before I look at the flower. That flower would be a bonus. With that leaf, superb. And I've messaged them. I think they was from India. Some from Samoa and all. And asked me if that gets seed. And they says you've asked the one plant that doesn't get seed. It's got to be the rhizomes. Cuttings, that's no good. Let's send it to the UK in your road. So that was getting me my canes out. My pea bed, drying the canes off as well. And I'll just balance them on top of the frame. Let the sun dry these off. I want them to last as long as possible. The price of a ton 8-foot cane now. That'd be ridiculous. So everything's doing well. There's quite a few people mentioned this year, some at the show. the stuff because I've had flea beetle. It's affected. This is our star, but it's hit more than our lot, I think. The flea beetle this year has devastated loads of stuff. I know when I had it 6 years ago, there's nothing in the UK. You can still get stuff online, but it comes from abroad. But it costs a bloody bomb. And they're saying it wasn't growing stuff anymore. But, yeah, that was me Ajax, I think. That was a little chap in the raised bed. And these I've sorted out for Jeffrey because I ain't doing onions anymore. So I'm going to keep them for him with all the stuff. Sweet peas I did down the side there. Chuffed with them. I mean, that worked with that. But I might have a turnaround for next year. So we get first year for the sweet peas in as well. So I'm still trialing myself. There's another nice nussid. Another red inner with a yellow outer. And he's got a nice leaf as well. Austin. I messaged him as well. See if it just sees what he called. You will. Russian has a little pedigree sachet. That's 4 a day. Smash that up. But also likes, these are hard carrots. So that's carrot, sweet pepper, that's Swede, loves it. But rates any veg, just bung them in. Ben uses loads of ginger. This is eating and drink. He has many drinks as well. This is going to start growing in it, so I'm going to try that as well. Start growing ginger. See what I've never done. Any fat again in the bottom of the air fryer. Put some porridge oats in for the birds. Mix that up and bung it in with the bird seed. Birds love it. I love these and all later on when they try it. More fruit you do, the more smoothies you make. Brilliant. And this is a fig in the garden. Adam bought this a few years back. First time he's ever given fruit. Another stir of the old wine. Lift the bag out, stir that daily. Getting some more fruit off. This is for me, my jam. Always look at the fruit because that one there, if you have a good close up, there's a little chap hiding in it. Going straight in the bin. Warm my sugar up again. Beautiful. Oh, Jeffrey, I'll just put my finger around there and link that out. Russian loves it. Loves the food. Stir fry. There's 2 nice steaks in the chep counter there to be used that day. So I had them 2. And the meat was beautiful. Militox. Got that for me mate, John Murphy, when he comes up. Right, this was down at Woolacombe, North Devon. This was last weekend. Beautiful day. Went down on the Friday, so I made the family go down early so we get there early because I knew the rest of the weekend was crap. Good thing about Woolacombe, car park's right on the front. Small print, tenner to park. What a rip-off. But we're on holiday and you ain't gonna walk far. And it's all day. That's why we did it one day when the blue sun was out. But the beach is superb. Look at that. That's where the tractor's been and scraped up all the seaweed and bunged it there. I'd love to know what they do that seaweed. Some gardener type person has got to need it. But this is great for kids, obviously. Dog friendly caravans and pubs now, which they're clicking on. Loads of people got dogs. The place for dogs is down that end. Plus Shell Beach, and that's where we was walking to. So we parked here, and we just 10-minute walk and was there. This was called Shell Beach last time we was there. I think our Ben was only 8, I think. And it was about 6. And we used to use that rock as a backrest and just sit there. but the sun all day if he's out. But when the tide comes in, it does come in quick. For all these were small shells, not broken shells, just small shells. It is a phenomenon. If you Google it, Barricane Beach, and it was like the Gulf Stream, the only place in the UK which the small shells, the tide used to bring them in, and the kids, there was small shells mixed. They used to be in there for hours just looking if I could find a new shell, which they hadn't got it themselves. That's why we call it Shell Beach. That warning worked up last time. Bit of a steep incline going down. Rosie, you got to, obviously dog friendly beach, but you got to keep on the lead. Common sense. Would he go in the sea? No, but I bloody stuff. Better go in. He has cold showers and all. Gordon, Penny, Ben. Didn't know how you do it. No way. Russian loves it. Had a good run. Passed in a cuppa, as you do. Just see the. It's just like small. Well, I'll get a close up later on. Russian has a pig's ear while we meet him. Right now he's sat up further on. But it's like small broken shells and small pebbles. It's a mixture of everything. None of the small shells which used to be. So something's happened there, and I asked about 6 people if they was local. They all said no, they're all bloody holiday makers from the Midlands. Because I wanted to see if they knew why these was replaced, the old shells that was there, but couldn't get nobody. But the first time we was there was 3 wenches. I was walking along the beach, and the parents was walking along the back, and they was walking across the area, and the tide coming that quick that they were stuck because they couldn't walk any further because they couldn't see where they was going, and these was ragged, and I had to go and get them out, and they was crapping themselves after we got them out, and it's because the father had gave him a bollocking. I said, well, don't tell him. I just got him 3 cups of hot tea with loads of sugar in until the parents come and looked after him. I said, just act normal. And but Ben says you might try and chase him up. He said there's something now you can get on. They look into crap like this. Just want to see if they ever did tell the old man the truth. Well, that's legging it back to the car. I saw this. And that beach is perfect for 6th of June 1944, 3 Allied armies, British, Canadian and American, invaded the continent of Europe over the every 45 beaches of Normandy. Basically, this is where they did the warm-up before that event. So this memorial is dedicated to those 1,000 soldiers in preparation of the sands of Woolwich and Saunton in the months preceding D-Day. Brilliant. I've got to film or some footage of that. I've never seen it or don't even know they did it, but brilliant. I tried to zoom in on the seaweed. This is where we're staying at Ollie Park, and that tells you it is dog friendly. And there's half the caravans now dog friendly, and that's how they're filling the caravans up. They need the public. We was always caravan, so we got a decent view, and that was when the sun was out. And that was legging it down to use their bar and get a bit of grub on the night. So that was a good photo. The sun was coming down through there. There was a patio area outside the eating place. As we were on holiday, burger each, but I needed a pint. Well, I didn't need the pint because I bought my own beer. I needed a pint glass. There weren't no pint glasses in the caravan. And while we was eating there, I noticed the other people need pint glasses as well. I thought, you've been caught out all day. And then also I got a library. Yes, I had a look at them as well. This is next day, Ilfracombe, because it was piddling down. Well, as you can see, the weather don't look very good. You probably have a bit of drizzle, then you dry up. So we named it Ilfracombe. We've been there before years ago, but the rain was there really. But you've got to have a nose around there. That's the little bit of beach they got. The quay side of it. First time I've had an oyster. Ben was going to have one. He says, "Oh, I'll buy you one." And he said, "Just hold it down." After I thought, well, that's a waste because I ain't tasted nothing. I wanted to eat it. I should have ate it. But I bought the shoulder back as well. That's where I was going to take down for John Murphy, because I was going to meet him on the way back home at a service place. He was going to give me some cider. But he started a new job in his gaffer. Obviously got to meet his gaffer on the day he was coming back. Anyway, back to Ilfracombe. Obviously I always carry a bag in the bag. So I've got some seaweed, Boston. Proper old town, seaside place. Crab, love it. Crab sarnies. I should have had one of them, or I had to have one of them for yours. I could have had one for pudding. But this is the beach, Ilfracombe. That ain't a beach, it's naff. I don't think we go there again. And on the way back, Westwood Home, we took the kids there as well. These are holidays we can afford. A couple of caravan. That has got a decent beach, a nice big beach again. But we was looking for things which reminded us last time there, and Ben can remember when the tide comes in, all the kids used to sit on here. See, the last one sat down before the waves used to smack over him. But that brought back memories for him. Then we see this signpost, and that was from when we was there. I've left that here from years ago, which is good to see. Ben remembers there's a place, there's one of these places used to be a small amusement arcade, and it's just when the Simpsons come out, there's a little machine in there with Simpsons, and he's playing on that every night. Spa, that was there, that's been there from the last time we was there and all. But had some good times there in Westwood Home. And that's where we used to walk through to the caravan park, which is just up here. And that was still there as well. Used to be a booze area, and that was in there, like the children's play area. That's where we used to walk the back roads. Some good memories. Back to Ilfracombe. Sunday, that was crap weather as well. So I went out on the gallivanting off. I booked up Sunday lunch just up the road. 10 different veg. And that lot roosters down here. There's other pigs here. Now the gaffer turns out he was a brummie. But he's got room for a pudding to go away here. I'm on holiday. And that's a photo of the gaffer's grandfather. Where did he come from? I'm trying to think which part of Brum he come from, he did tell me. But these three were three of the original Peaky Blinders. And his grandfather was in the same photo. So he stuck it on the wall. He was chuffed with that. Right, back to the garden. This is going loop. The weight of that, snap that off. I should have, well, I've thinned him out. But he's still going bloody loop. I'm still taking fruit off. When it's ready. Grapes on the top. But this lot here, I've got to sort him out really for next year. I've got to just stake him because you have that much fruit off. Obviously, the more thinning you do, because he's supposed to be a giant strain, but he was normalish. Perhaps if I thin him out. Right, this is that seaweed from the Ilfracombe. So I've got to dry him out so I get my tray out. or 2 trays. Now this is a different seaweed altogether. Yes, that's what I want. Different seaweeds. That's going to give me more variety of vitamins mixed with the others. Women in Scotland football, brilliant game, Austin. And I had 2 visitors. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, yeah. And what did they bring me back? In Steve, yes, seaweed, Portland, and that's a different brew as well. And they bought me some Westland booze. I've never heard of this, but gets everything Chep. If there's anything going Chep, they'll get it. And they managed to bring me some of these back. So if you fancy at all, I was at the right place. Price I went for them. Good on you. They've even got an old measure. Take the top off, squeeze it, and it fills the measure for you. You're going to pour it out. We had a good game rugby yesterday. Ireland, brilliant. That was a brilliant match. That was yesterday and all. Just waiting for this to come out on the, well, not the cinema, but I can go to the cinema. Gurkers of them. This lady visited shelter to adopt a puppy and saw this old abandoned blind dog who had spent already many years in his box without the love of family. She went with him, took him home. Now there's a hero. Children practice reading books to shelter dogs so they don't feel alone. Brilliant. Welcome to snails. You'll all understand them that way. I love it. And this was our kid yesterday. He was in Wales for the trial fest. It was a half marathon. And that was him just finishing. He came first for the over 70s. 2 hours, 21 minutes. Bloody fitter than I am. Good on you, Pud. And that's it, people. Hope that's past an hour or so for you, and you have enjoyed it. There will be a Zoom next Sunday. That's the 1st of October. If anybody's got any photos or anything, just bung them over. And I'll bung them on.
One thing, Mick.
Sorry?
Does anybody use predatory mites or anything like that? In the tunnels or greenhouses or?
I tried them once, but I found it expensive.
Because I was having a good chat with the one of the chemists at the canna.
Yeah.
And I told her I'd had spider mite and this, that, and the other. And she said, well, first of all, she says, have you got some debris in there or wood chip and all this business? And because I said yes to everything,
yeah,
I said, well, that ain't going to help because they're going to overwinter in all the wood chip and everything else. I said, well, shall I go around with bleach or something like that? She said, oh no, don't do that because you're going to kill all the goodies off, kill all the microbes and one thing and another.
Yeah.
She said, I'd suggest you probably try the predatory mites. So, and I was questioning her because I've heard of them, but I've never thought about using them or nothing. And I was just wondering if anybody else has used them or knows anything about them.
I know Dean Finley, he always used them in his big chili emporium over there at Bedford, but he's more or less gone quiet for the last couple of years. But he definitely had them. The times I've been over there, I've always seen them up there, and I think a few people down here. I mean, I don't think I saw them at John Brannan's back in June when we went up there.
Yeah.
I know Dean. I think a lot of the hydroponic people are more using them, if you like, than somebody that grows in the soil.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think Dave Greenwood used them with his pot leeks and his branch leeks.
Yeah, because she said that. I said to her, "Well, how did you buy them?" She says, "Well, you can buy them in like a bottle, and you just
Yeah.
sprinkle it around the tunnel." And I said, "Well, what about when it gets cold or anything like that?" She said, "Well, what they'll do, they'll burrow down into the soil, so they'll stay warm down there. Then they'll find other stuff down there to eat." She said, "And then when it starts to warm up again, they'll come back up to the surface." But
Well,
it-
Like
the stuff that
nematodes.
Dave uses, like a
yeah, that
sachet,
sort of thing. I
you put a
think.
sachet on each plant
Yeah.
and open them up. What's that asking?
Is that the same thing as nematodes?
Yeah.
I think they are.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
They are expensive. I've only done it once because of the expense.
See, I don't want to kill what's in the soil and stuff like that,
Yeah,
because I think I've got quite a good. I think I've got quite a good eco
that's
structure
it.
there
You've
now.
got to read the small print, are you? What's in
Yeah,
there?
yeah. It was just like I spent quite a time talking to her, like, you know what I mean. She obviously knows what I was on about,
Yeah,
but she said she didn't say it would definitely work, you know what I mean. But she said if lace wings and stuff like that, ladybirds. She says all those will eat certain bugs and pests,
yeah,
because you got to try and you got to try and encourage them to come into your tunnel, ain't you, or whatever, to start
Yeah.
off with.
Yeah, I think you can buy ladybirds more or less the same as you can the nematodes anyway. You know, all
Yeah.
the eggs, and then they hatch out when they're in there.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
Mm.
I picked a load of ladybird larvae and put them in my tunnel, and I've not had one single white fly or anything there. But
There you
Wow.
it really, really works. I just
Yeah.
picked them off the hedges about May time, May, June time.
Hmm.
There
I had
you go. You've confirmed it.
300, 400 of them. But it's hard to keep them in the tunnel over winter because they need a kind of place to hide, but I don't know where.
Oh,
So I'll see if they're still there in the spring.
Would they go into one of them like bug hotel things, or all the reeds and stuff like that? Would they?
I don't know. Somebody told me to get bark, but the whole piece of the tree,
Yeah.
just get
Hmm.
pieces of bark, put them together, water them regularly, and they need to kind of stay damp, and they get into there. So I've tried it. I've put like a pan, an old what do you call it, to put in the oven?
Tree
Tray,
trunk.
yeah,
Mm.
and
Hmm.
put that in there, and then laid loads of bark over it, then moss on top of it, and they should stay in there if I keep it moist. So I'll see.
I've just Googled it. It says they take shelter and enter a state of suspended animation where their metabolism slows and their temperature drops. Some ladybird species hibernate individually, hunkering down in gaps in tree bark, cracks in rocks, or piles of leaf litter. Others gather in big clusters. That's the basic what they say.
Hmm.
There you go.
Is
Yeah,
it then, Jeffrey?
I hope so.
But you got the bark
But
right,
you
didn't you?
could get some.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get like a beetle with all the little holes in it. They might go in that.
Yeah, that's what I
Put
was
one of them in
thinking. Yeah, like the bug hotels they call it, innit?
Yeah, October to February is when they hibernate.
So should be okay then.
Yeah.
I'll say hope. But I just picked them off here, like in Austin. The only thing you see for hedges is like it's one plant. I don't know the name of it, but all the hedges, like from the government or the local government, they're all the same, and they've been the same for years. It's one species, you cut it back, and then you get white
Don't mean like
flowers.
box hedge.
No, it's big leafed, but then all of a sudden, when the sun really gets going, you get all the ladybugs, but all the larvae on there.
Oh wow.
So you can just go collect them. So I went collected them, had 300 in a day, put them in one of those bags Mick used, put it in the polytunnel on the stake, on one of those canes and just let them go, and there are masses of them.
That's amazing.
Cool, dude. You'll have to start flogging them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a new business for you.
Yeah.
Now we get loads over here.
You don't know what it's called, what they're on.
No, it's just, I'll have a look if I can find it, but it's just everything. I'll take a picture of it, but every hedge in Austin that's planted by the local government is the same hedge.
It's not a yew tree hedge, is it?
No. It's
Because they do
it's big
hedges,
leaf.
don't
It's
they?
like the leaf is like a bay leaf, but small. About about 3 to 4 inches long, the leaf. And then in about July, you get a flower on it, a white flower. And it's like a grape flower. Just
Not
like
like our
looks
privet.
like a bunch of grape. I don't know.
Mm.
Haven't got a clue of the name, but I remember the scent coming home from the beach when I was small. We always used to pass all the hedges, and in July they always had white flower and a sweet smell.
Yeah, it's like our privet, in it, mate?
Yeah. Oh, take a photo, Jeffrey. We'll have a
Yeah, okay.
perusal.
Maybe it's a privet hedge. But they don't flower, do they?
I'm sure you get some privet with flowers on. Or,
Yeah.
but I've never
we've
seen
got some.
butterflies on privet. That's why I don't know.
Are they clearly visible then, are they, Jeffrey?
Yeah, as soon as the sun hits them, about May, June, they all come out. It's like 2 weeks, and then they're gone again. But 2 weeks long, you can just go around, and you'll see them all. But they do the same thing as the beetles on the lilies. As soon
Right.
as your shadow goes on the trees
Yeah.
or on the shrub, they go boing, they fall off. So you always have to walk with the sun in your face, and then you can just take a bag and go doing, just all pick them up.
That's interesting.
Somebody said you used to
very
be a
interesting.
sniper, Jeffrey.
You need to go to Belgium then in June
Yeah,
and pick some
go
ladybirds.
to Austin.
Couldn't you stick like a big bag underneath and just give it a good shake? Could that get them off or not?
Yeah, I think so. Even if like you take a sheet with you, put the sheet under the hedge and then shake it, you'll have
Yeah. They're like little scorpions, are they? Like something like that.
no. It's kind of black with two orange stripes on them.
Well, the
Right.
larvae, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a strange thing, but it's like two orange
They
stripes.
look bizarre, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they've got like a skeleton on the outside.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, about 2 mil long, 20 mil long or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have seen some, yeah. Interesting.
That's good.
Nick, question before you go. Why don't you eat the cores of carrots?
Say that again.
Why don't you eat the cores of the carrots?
Only feed me compost as well.
So it's just for that reason,
Yeah.
just to feed the compost. Oh, right. I thought there was a reason why you weren't eating the
I'm
core.
eating the best bits. They can have the core. I've got to look after me
Just eat
worms.
all of it. Just eat all of it.
There ain't a lot of cores in candle carrots.
Lucian has it and all.
They've got the skin. Surely they've got the skin, haven't they? The compost.
I don't skin me carrots. They don't need it.
Yeah, see, I do.
The skins are that thin.
One thing
You're treating your compost better than you do your stomach, your own stomach.
Got to.
One thing I forgot to mention, Mick. When I lifted the pot leeks, the pots therein, pot leeks and blanch leeks, the long Russians. When I lifted the pots, the ones I gave what's it called? Topsoil. The ones I gave topsoil had worms under them, the red kind of worms, the tiger worms, had under them unbelievable amounts. And when I took out, when I tipped it out, masses of worms inside. So I did
Yeah,
the others,
I've
and
had topsoil like that, masses of worms. Yeah,
the
Good.
others nearly none. So the stuff works for something.
Yeah. That's why we trial and error, Jeffrey. Always
Yeah, but
learning.
I forgot I did it, so I just turned them over and said, "What's the difference? Why they're not?" Said, "Oh yeah, I gave these topsoil."
Oh,
but if you open a bag of topsoil as well, it's literally full up with worms. I've had that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. So you just end up putting it out and then taking all the worms out, putting them in the compost.
I put them back in everywhere I can.
Anyway, I'm going to go.
yeah.
See you
That's it,
next time.
people. Hope to see you all next
Bye.
week.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Cheers. Good night.
See you all.
Bye.
Take care.
Cheers, everyone.